I feel like the Oscars is one of the worst animes. It's one of the more boring ones. However, we got to see a fight of epic proportions between Donkey from Shrek and Finding Nemo. Now, I'm sure everyone has already given their opinion on this, but the one true opinion that really matters is mine, which has not been disclosed yet. So I thought I'd give a little breakdown here of this season finale. Who was the good guy? Who was the bad guy? And who was the cuck? Now find out coming up next on Dom the Beagle Live.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Alright, right off the bat, Chris Rock with the dragon uppercut straight out of Street Fighter 2. G.I. Jane reference. That movie came out in 1997. No one remembers this movie. I love it. This is just a great reference.
All right?
Alright, if you take a look here, Will Smith absolutely agrees with me on this one. He's one of the few people that remember this Demi Moore classic. But Chris Rock made one fatal flaw in this joke. He should have known that Jada Pinkett Smith is one of the worst human beings on the planet and would never laugh at a joke at her own expense. Jada flashes an evil look towards Will Smith, similar to that of Darth Sidious in Star Wars Episode 3, and orders him to execute Order 66.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh.
Alright, Chris Rock knew that joke was a banger, and he's ready to move on to the next one. Then all of a sudden, he sees Will Smith approaching him at a fast speed walk pace. He's thinking to himself, this man was just laughing 2 seconds ago. There's no reason for him to be that upset. But he sees an angry look in his eye, and a little bit of panic starts to glimmer in Chris Rock. This is the man that took down a robot army in iRobot, took down numerous zombies in I Am Legend, and even saved the United States in Independence Day. This man has a lot of power, strength, and vigilance. And what would happen next will blow your mind.
Richard!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, an open-handed slap. There's nothing more disrespectful than that. And you know this is a slap that he learned on one of the movie sets from some sort of retired U.S. military personnel. And this isn't a slap because Chris Rock made a joke. No, this is anger taken out on Chris Rock of all the jokes from the past few years of Jada Pinkett Smith sleeping around, of Will Smith being a cuck, of all the jokes, everything, all in one slap being taken out on Chris Rock's face. And this slap had great form behind it. It had the power of 1,000 suns landing on Chris Rock's delicate, beautiful little cheek. I don't even know how a man can go up and slap Chris Rock like that. Like, he's just a scrawny little delicate flower. And Will Smith is an action movie star. He doesn't do anything except work out, star in movies, and let his wife sleep with other men. So the scale of power is already tilted to one direction, and that is Will Smith. What can Chris Rock do here? He's just a scrawny little nerd. Will Smith has learned to fight on 1,000,000 different movies. What can he possibly do? He's just a little class clown. Like, where has Chris Rock ever gotten into a fight in his entire life?
Oh, wow! Wow!
Okay, so Chris Rock does show his inexperience with fights and decides not to swing back. But this is completely acceptable, as he may be in a bit of shock right now. Did Will Smith really just come up and slap me in the Oscars? Am I dreaming right now? Like, this seems like a simulated universe. In what world does this actually happen? But I will have to give criticism to Chris Rock on one thing. You must defend your manhood, no matter the cost, especially in front of all those sexy actresses at the Oscars. And Will Smith walks away from the situation with a mission accomplished strut in his step, as if he's a hero walking away from an explosion, which he's done 1,000 times before in the movies. And as you can see, he flashes a glance towards Jada Pinkett Smith, like, did I do good here, honey? Did I do what you wanted me to do? Like the little lapdog that he is to her.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
And Chris Rock right here begins to realize the ridiculousness of the situation. He realizes He got slapped in the face for making reference to a movie that is 25 years old. And I believe that Will Smith also realizes the ridiculousness of this situation and begins to just repeat himself as if he's a broken record on DJ Jazzy Jeff's turntable.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay?
I do not agree with Chris Rock in this concession here. We do not negotiate with terrorists. This is time to start bringing out all your bald joke bangers for Jada Pinkett Smith, all your Avatar The Last Airbender jokes, your Mr. Clean jokes, anything and everything. The gloves are off at this point. You were just slapped in the face. It is time for revenge.
Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
All right, Chris, I'm sorry, but this is another L for you. You cannot stumble upon your words, and then once you find them, they are, this is the greatest night in the history of television, after you just got slapped in the face in front of millions of people. Now, this is one of the reasons why I know this was in fact not faked, because Chris Rock is not this good of an actor. He would not be able to put on a display of such shock, terror, and almost awe of the situation.
Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for Best Documentary.
And this is the cherry on top of this terrible Sunday that Chris Rock had for the Oscars. He then follows up getting slapped in the face, calling it the greatest night in the history of television, with mixing his words up and saying that we're going to give a documentary out instead of giving out an Oscar. This potentially shows that he was in a concussed state or possibly just still shook from the situation. This was just a bad display right here, and I would not want to be in Chris Rock's shoes right now. And honestly, probably the most hilarious part has still yet to come. Shortly after destroying Chris Rock and forcing him to question his reality, Will Smith wins the award for Best Actor at the Oscars. This is just quite the night for Will. And I know his reasons for doing this to Chris was completely cucked, but you still gotta hand it to him, man. This is just a dominant performance for Will Smith tonight. He's putting up Michael Jordan type numbers. He's going back to back on him, 96, 97.
Now, no, to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay.
All right, right here, this is absolutely my favorite part of this entire altercation. Not only does Will Smith go up there and win the Oscar for Best Actor, he then uses his acceptance speech not to apologize to Chris Rock. No, he uses it to talk about how actors have to deal with abuse or scrutiny or being made fun of, and they have to be completely okay with it, ignoring the fact that he had just gone up and physically assaulted a man minutes beforehand. This is an absolutely legendary display here, folks. Like, who else could do this? And you just know once Will Smith won that award, Chris Rock is backstage, tears in his eyes, ice pack on his cheek, ready for Will Smith to apologize to him on national TV, only to be let down like a child finding out that Santa isn't real. Just an absolutely devastating blow to Chris Rock and adding on to his terrible night. And then to top it off, Will Smith is seen dancing during the Oscars after party to Getting Jiggy with It, a Will Smith classic, one of his few bangers, while holding his Oscar in his hand. This is just a night of all nights for Will, probably one of the greatest nights in the history of the United States of America. I went into this expecting to be very disappointed in Will Smith, but I came out very surprised. Like, I'm so happy for him. And for Chris Rock, I'm just utterly disappointed at his display. I love Chris Rock, but come on, man. But ultimately, I believe Will still takes the overall L, as he still has to be married to Jada Pinkett Smith.